Coming from football players, please, no.
Bado ni game.
Bado what?
Bado ni game. Game ni game.
Na tuna win bado.
But yola, you know, guess who roll over when you're tapped like this?
It's okay.
When you're tapped.
It's
I was waiting for that. It was good. Tapping.
Double A. Welcome to episode 35, part 2 of Kenya's premier sports video podcast, the 3 Quarters podcast. Now, the road to Japan draws closer as each day goes past, and the Kenya Simbas are still in the preliminary stages of the World Cup qualifiers. Join us in backing them. They always need our support. Jump onto the hashtag Road to Japan, as we know they are the superstars of rugby in Kenya. I'm Demima Duffield.
This is Ngashi, official noisemaker.
Jeringus Kenyana.
All right, now we start off with the bad man of the week.
Bad man.
Yeah.
I don't think this time round you can even mention our guys. You just have to go to the other team. However, I'll give a special mention on Joshua Sanga. I think he had on the Kenyan side. I think he had a better game, the best game, if anything. But bad man of the week, my bad man of the week will be Clive Lobser, number 10, Namibia. Fantastic young chap, a young talent, and he was really brilliant on the day because you could see him marshalling his guys he's marshalling his backline, especially really control the tempo of the game, and he really punished us, man. And off the kicks, his kicking, the territory-wise, he was quite brilliant. And come on the conversions, he only missed one, I think, on the day, having pumped us and also had another try. They pumped how many tries? 5?
Yeah.
5 tries? Yeah, and only missed one conversion. So I think I'll go with Clive Lobser, number 10, Namibia.
All right, what about you?
Mine is different. My bad man of the week is David Philander, the winger, the Namibian winger, number 11, the blindside winger. He bagged a brace yesterday. I think his running lines were very powerful. Every time he got the ball, Darwin was in problems. He's a stepper. He's a very powerful runner. And he just, got us entertained. You remember the last try, which I thought he should have grounded it, where he tried passing it back to, I think it was Lobsha actually wanted to pass it to, and Leo Seja intercepted. And he should have just fallen over with it and do that in a try. But I think David Philander had a very good game yesterday. And the result is that he got 2 tries. So my bad man of the week is David Philander.
Yeah, I think he even supplied the Lobster's try.
Yes.
The one who supplied the ball, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I guess well done to the Namibian team. All right, so moving on to Rugby 101.
Yeah.
As we know, rugby is governed by rules, as are all sports. Take us through Rugby 101 today.
So we're still on the amendments that were made. As we had discussed in last week in episode 34, the World Rugby Executive Committee passed some amendments to the laws that are existing. So we are still tackling the changes that have been made to the laws of the game, and today we'll be tackling law number 15, which is to deal with the breakdown, as we always talk about. So basically what they've said is that now the tackling player will have to get up before they can play the ball. So they're a tackling player, number 1. And number 2, you can only play the ball from your side. Basically, that's what we normally call the gate. Initially, of course, because of you, by virtue of you being the tackling player, you had some leeway in terms of where you could play the ball from. So now they say that you have to get up, number 1, and number 2, you have to play the ball from your own side. So that the rationale, of course, is to make it consistent. First, to make the tackles and the breakdown, the rack and the breakdown, a bit more clean, for lack of a better word, for the refs. Making it easier for them to make decisions, number 1, and number 2, just making it to be consistent with the other laws of the game. So that's what World Rugby has done. The amendment that they passed for law number 15. Yeah.
All right, now onto a more serious note. Family, friends, and Kenya Rugby as a whole mourns the loss of KCB player James Kilonzo. From the Three Quarters podcast, we'd like to send out our sincerest apologies. Not apologies, our sincerest condolences to his friends, his families, everyone who knew him. I think the boys would like to say a little bit on that.
Yeah, it was a sad situation when we got the news in the past week that we lost a very young talent. Very electric centre, man. Must say that this guy was a future Simba, I think.
Yeah.
He was a future Simba. And he actually, when the largest squad, he was part of the largest squad.
Yeah.
When the squad was being named before the test started. And our bad man of the week in episode 17.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very solid tackler. His defense is something to admire. And it's sad that we lost Peter Kilonzo, but James Kilonzo.
Yes.
Yeah, can only pray that Heaven RFC welcomes him well.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. I was reading a quote by director of rugby, Fred Oloz, and what Oloz was saying was that it becomes now boring analyzing KCB games because KCB games always used to be made interesting by the Kilonzo brother pairing at center, James Kilonzo and Peter Kilonzo at inside and outside center respectively. As Ngusa said, he was a talent, a young chap, very good offensively, and was a very resolute defender. As he said, episode 17, he was our bad man of the week. So it is sad, yes, Kenya Rugby is mourning right now. And just to echo your words, my guest from the Three Quarters podcast, all you can say is that condolences to Peter Kilonzo, the KCB Rugby fraternity, and Kenya Rugby as a whole.
Alright, now we move on to Simba Focus, where we're going through an overview of the Africa Gold Cup and what it means for the Simbas, and also where does this leave us in terms of World Rugby standings?
Well, it was an up and down tournament, I think, for Kenya.
Yeah.
We didn't start off well because the draw against Uganda at home, it was a bit disappointing, and I think it might have cost us a little bit, but I can say that we've been improving in every game. Apart from now, we got a bit complacent when it came to after the Tunisia game, after the 110. Come Senegal, we were a bit off because we could have finished these guys off way early, and we had to use our first guys. Even we should have brought in their second team, if I may call it so. But it's been up and down. I think we can learn from the weaknesses, the weak points that we always tried and hammered. The points, especially our breakdowns, scrummage. I think we've been going up. We've been on ascending note. But we can always continue doing what you're doing and improve on our game.
I'd like to look at it from the whole tournament perspective. It's the first time we're having the Rugby Africa Gold Cup. Previously, it used to be the CAR Cup, Division 1 and Division 1A, 1B. I think the tournament was organized very well. I like the fact that Kwesa Sports got on board to televise the games, because previously when our boys used to go play in Zim, when they used to go play in Namibia, we were unable to follow them. I think it was very good from that angle. I think the tournament has been organized very well. And also the participating countries. Uganda have upped their game, Zim have upped their game, against Namibia. Namibia is still a class above the rest. And Kenya, I think compared to last season, we're on a decline this season. It's a fairly young team, as that's what they've been saying. But it's a good, I think, all in all, it has been a good platform for us towards the Rugby World Cup qualifiers, which is going to be happening next year.
Okay, so moving on to the new Kenya Cup format.
Yeah.
Take us through that, because I'm sure a lot of people don't know what the new format is, or even if they've heard about it, they don't fully understand what it means.
Okay. So the Kenya Rugby Union had a meeting about 2 weeks ago to discuss the new Kenya Cup format for the 2017-2018 season. Reason being occasioned by two things. Number one, there's a delay. Sevens is going to be ending late. The national sevens circuit is going to be ending late. Number one, and number two, the international season next year, of course, next year being a qualifying year for the World Cup, is going to be starting early. So what they decided is that they're going to do away with the conferences, because previously used to have 2 conferences of 6 teams each. So they're going to do away with that. It's going to be a one-way league. There's no home and away. So it's a one-way league, and then at the end, the 6 guys will be number 1 to 6. Of course, we have 1 and 2 getting a straight berth at the semi-finals. Then 3, 4, 5, and 6 are battling it out in the quarterfinals, for lack of a better word. So that's the new format.
All right, so we'll move on to the international rugby scene,
Yeah.
where 34-year-old Stephen Moore, Wallabies skipper, steps down as captain and announces his retirement. What do you think that means for the Wallabies and what for him?
Well, I think he's done his time. It's about time he retires because even he'd already started benching, if I may say so.
Bench press.
Yeah.
He started warming the bench a little bit.
Yeah.
But he's been a fantastic guy to watch, especially he's part of the engine as a hooker.
Yeah.
I always love the forwards, man. So he's 120 just is no joke. Having done 120 for a country. I think he ranked one of the highest guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. But okay, apart from Gregan,
Yes.
the likes of Mako.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's a good talent to watch.
Stephen Moore is the last remaining stalwart from the group that had the group I consider the golden era of Australian rugby. Stephen Larkham, George Gregan, Matt Gitu, all those guys. So Stephen Moore is the remaining guy. It's only good that it's time now to retire.
Yeah.
He's been a good soldier for Brumbies and Australian rugby, and he's one of the few Australian captains who's taken them to a World Cup final. So I think it's time he hangs his boots. Yes.
Okay, now on to Super Rugby results for the semis.
Yeah. Wow, so the semi-finals.
Yeah.
Semi-finals yesterday, we had the Canterbury Crusaders take on the Waikato Chiefs and beating them 27-13 in Christchurch. And of course, I think the game of the weekend was the Lions taking on the Hurricanes in Johannesburg, and the Lions won that 44-29, setting up what's going to be a pulsating final next week in Johannesburg between the Lions and the Canterbury Crusaders.
Predictions for the finals.
Lions.
Do you agree?
Yeah, that's true.
I'm going to be honest, if I'm betting from a pragmatic point, I'm going the Lions because they're losing finalists last year. They're playing at home. They're on ascendancy in the latter part of the Super Rugby this year. But, I'm a Crusaders fan, so that's why I'm going to be going with the Crusaders. And I think Crusaders just have it in them to grind to the away, to get an away win. So I do think Crusaders might actually win this. We are coming to the end of Super Rugby, and we want to thank everyone who's been involved in the Three Quarters podcast, Super Rugby Fantasy League. Thank you very much for participating in it each and every week when we asked you guys to do so. Come next week, of course, we'll be displaying the log, seeing who is Namibia and who is Senegal.
All right, we'd also like to thank our fans and followers for taking their time to watch our episodes. Like our page on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Jimmy Duffield.
This is Nyashi, official noisemaker.
Jerry Goose, Kenyana.
Stay tuned. Part 3.